Hi, this is my HAP final project. I'm Wang, and this is going to be divided into four parts. The first one is the problem introduction, and then the concept explanation, and then the blueprint, and the last one is the evaluation. The first one. So the problem that I'm investigating is the scheme problems among students. So as you may know, there are lots of competitions, lots of exams, lots of pressures in the high school in China. And in this high pressure study environment, the Chinese students are suffering from the skin problems. And the acne is the most notable one. Well, acne really crushes one's confidence and it causes some psychological problems, and that's pretty bad. And you can see the acne, the picture on the right, and the skin problems. The most important, one of the most important things that this skin problem is not being paid much attention, and there is no experts in our school, or there are hardly some professionals in the well-established hospitals. And this is the dermatology industry. So basically, dermatologists are not really well paid. And according to this chart, the skin problem are not being paid much attention, and that causes the low market share throughout the year. Mm. And there is a alternative way for this industry to survive, and that is to bind with the cosmetic industry. So when you mention dermatology in China to someone, then he will going to talk with you about uh, the plastic surgery or something. Um, and besides, the school hasn't noticed this problem. So yeah, and that's getting worse. The second part, the concept illustration. There are some concepts that are related to um, the the acne, the skin problem that I'm discussing. So first of all is the hair follicles and the oily glands. The sebaceous gland is a crane, meaning it produces oily substance called sebum into the hair follicles to lubricate. The sebaceous gland is controlled by hormone level. And the mechanism of acne, the glands begin to produce too much sebum, and the excess sebum mixed with the dead skin cell, which is the keratin, and some substances from a plug. And then the bacteria that lives on the skin just contaminate and infect, and that causes the acne. And you can see the illustration from the picture on the right. And then the homeostasis. The homeostasis is basically controlled by the positive or negative feedback loop. And you can see it on the right. When something gets too high, the gland will just send a signal to your brain, and then the brain will get this message and then just set back the message that you should reduce your production. Then everything is settled in this way. And teenager acne are always triggered by testosterone, which increases during puberty. And sebaceous glands are particularly sensitive to hormones. So that basically saying that during puberty, the sebaceous gland can usually produce excessive sebum, and that will cause the acne. The part three, the blueprint. So basically, what I'm doing is try to solve this problem. And so I made a proposition to the BNDS student center and our student union to try to establish a skin program for our students. There are some common traits of the Chinese high school. Most high schools are public schools, and that means all the funds are from the government. and that means our resources are really limited. So and besides, the school infirmary are usually not able to operate complicated treatments. And that makes this skincare program really valuable and viable. And this is our school infirmary and some pictures. Yeah, I basically made a proposition to the student center and the student union, and also to a neighborhood middle school through the so-called People's Committee, and we can get a fund from the committee. And my plan for being the skincare. So basically, the best scenario is to hire a dermatologist, but basically, it is impossible. Just like what I said, the resources are limited. Um, yeah. So there is a alternative way. The school can turn this into a job at campus. Basically, the school can just leave it to our students, especially us who know a lot about anatomy, skin, and in advanced biology. So basically, students with skin knowledge or biology backgrounds can form an expert team to operate the BNDS skincare. And this can be guided by some teachers. Yeah. And the BNDS funding program. And there are two funding programs in BNDS, and I have applied to both of them. The first of all is 实事实办, which is to propose your idea to student center, and I have already done this through the school website. And there's another one, it's called 校长有约, and I was fortunate enough to have dinner with the dean of students in the school cafeteria to talk about my skincare program. So the last part, the evaluation and how to measure my success rate. So basically, I made a questionnaire to investigate students' reaction to the skincare program. And I have already got some samples, and most of them gave me back at least 8. Yeah, and this is a questionnaire that I made. You can see we just scored on a scale. Yes. And why is this skincare program the best solution? Well, basically, to build up a skincare program, you need fundings. So school is definitely the best place to ask for supports, and I believe BNDS is a place where the officials seek for the changes and the best of the students. And BNDS is a leading Beijing high school, and that means if something works, it's gonna go viral. If my skincare program gonna work, other schools will just gonna also open up some skin programs. So this is going to spread throughout the Beijing city. And the prospect of the skin programs. So if I have the unlimited resources, first of all, I will establish skin programs in each of the high school in Beijing and hire dermatologists. And then I will establish a skincare union between the schools. And I think this is really important because we can share our findings and experiences. And besides, we can find the bio clubs, especially the skin related fields. And besides, yeah, and that is the end of my presentation. And thank you for listening. Goodbye.